We will first start by opening up LTSpice. We are going to be making a non-inverting amplifier. We are presented with this screen. To start a new schematic, we will click this button here. To select our op-amp, we will click on the Components button, open the op-amps file and select the AD711 op-amp. For Mac users, you will have to right-click on the screen to access this toolbar. Now we can just click on the schematic to place it where we want. We can right-click to exit placement mode. Now we want some resistors. We can click this button here to access them and place them onto the schematic. Next, we want some voltage sources. We can access these by clicking the Components button and looking for the voltage component. I will place 3 of these. We also need to be able to ground our circuit, so I will select the ground component from the toolbar and place 4 of these onto the schematic. Now we can start wiring up. To do this, we click this pencil button on the toolbar. I'm going to wire up my voltage sources separately to make sure my schematic is neat and easy to read. To draw a wire, we click once to start the drawing and click again to create an anchor point. When we click on a component, the wire will end. Once again, we can right-click to exit drawing mode. Once all of our circuits are wired up, we're going to start labelling our voltages. To do this, we click the Label button on the toolbar. Our positive and negative voltages are neither inputs nor outputs, so we can just give them general labels. V3 is an input, so we're going to change the label type to input and call it Vin. We can then place the corresponding labels onto our actual circuit. Next, we want to change the value of our components. For our resistors, we can just right-click and enter the resistance value we want. The same goes for the voltages. For our sine wave input, we right-click on the voltage and then click Advanced. In this section, we can select the sine option and input the values we want for our sine wave. Before we start simulating, we need to click the .op button. In the text box that appears, we need to type .tran and how long we want the simulation to last for. In this case, we want 10 milliseconds. To start the simulation, we click on this running man in the toolbar. To get the voltages for certain areas, we can click on any of the wires in our circuit. If we click the voltage in and compare it to the voltage out, we can see the gain of the amplifier has been applied without inverting the wave. We can also get the current of the circuit by clicking on a component. If, for example, we wanted to graph the power, we can right-click on these titles on the graph and in the text box create custom equations that will then be shown on the graph. We can also change the scale of the graph by right-clicking on the scale at the side.